Hello, lovely. This is Arielle from the Tree of Life Tarot, and I thought I lost all the videos that I did yesterday, and I posted yesterday on YouTube um, about Hugh Grosvenor, but I found them. um, so they're posted now. There is still some missing information, but this is where my phone started acting weird, and I did not it just did not record. It stopped at some point by itself, so I take it as a sign that this is the right place to share, and there is some information that is not to be shared. So I will continue just to look quickly at Hugh Grosvenor's love life. And there's a lot of reversed cards, and I guess I took the cards in the wrong way, but again, that's not a coincidence. So what do we have here? Usually I look at the last card, the card at the bottom, which is the Chariot. Chariot is about getting things quick, or things coming quick for you. In this case, the hidden card, that card that really wants to speak about what's going on, is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is rivalry, competition, unfair competition, trying to get by all means to something. So I guess he's in a way he's the prey. So let's look at the past. And this is about Hugh Grosvenor's love life, a general reading. And I'll do the same for Prince Harry. So we have the Fool reversed. He was not naive. He was, let's say, in his past relationship, he was with open eyes, looking at what's happening. And we have the Five of Pentacles. He was not naive about the inequality with his partner. The Five of Pentacles, the inequality, the being inadequate, let's say, foreign, not good enough. Reversed is actually a good thing. It's really talking about him being open-minded, with open eyes about the inequality with him and his partner, and not caring about it, which is again a good thing. Now let's look at the present. The present is, we have the card for Temperance and the card for Magician reversed. So the Magician card is a card that I personally don't like much, and I'll tell you why. This is a card of deception, and actually successful deception. It's really a card about being so, I'll put it this way, there we go. It's a card about, sometimes it's literal, it's about doing magic, but mostly it's about technology, being, using technology, resorting to technology. A card about manipulation, successful manipulation, and things like that. And Temperance is a really good card to be upright. If it's upside down, then I'll be worried, but upright is a really good card. It's a card, first of all, it's a card of health. But in this, in an Archangel Gabriel, but in this case, we have a reading about love life. So Temperance is really committing yourself, but not too much. Being, jumping in deep waters, but not with both feet. If you can see here, one foot is on a firm ground, the other one is testing the waters. So it is really good card for making decisions, just being in a situation where mm, you're not, let's say, you're not stupid in your actions. You're wise. You're making the decisions both with your head and with your heart, and that's a really good card. And the Magician reversed as a signifier of that card, as explanation of that card is, you know what? Do we really have to be that modern? Do we really have to be on the chat, on Skype, on WhatsApp, on all these tech stuff? We can go low key. We can meet in person, have a relationship in person, and have uh, whatever it is we have between us in person, and let's see where that goes. There is no firm commitment here. And now let's take a look quickly at the future. The future is, again, all reversed cards. We have the Hermit. We have the Eight of Cups, and we have Four of Pentacles, all reversed. So again, sometimes when you, well, let's say when people see reversed cards, they're like, their hair goes straight. Out of worry that a reversed card is a bad thing, but here it is not. For example, for the future of Hugh Grosvenor's love life, we have the Four of Pentacles. Usually that is representing a person, usually a man, but it's a person who has considerable wealth and is holding on to it. Usually, if you see in a reading a guy being represented by this card, that's a stingy guy. That's a guy who will go Dutch in the restaurant, and will go Dutch in the relationship as well. He'll be counting how many times he pulled out the trash, so that next time it's your turn, and things like that. So this is a guy who has means but is not generous. Reverse this card is a good thing. It is still a guy who has means, but is not. It is not. Let's say. It is not in. He's not in the game of worrying himself off. Let's say all women, because they all want one thing from him. I would have said babies, but obviously for some women, babies are also the kind of insurance that makes their life easier. But still, it's representing in love, in relationships, a guy who, it's not, let's say, it doesn't mean he's like a generous or chivalrous or things like that. We have different cards for those type of behavior. But here we have a guy who is not afraid to go into a committed relationship, and is not afraid that he'll be robbed by whoever comes into the picture with him. Usually it also means that, and especially when it comes to money, the money are well protected. So, if you want me, you have me. Then the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is another card that is really not a good one. In general, there is no good or bad cards, but in this case, the Eight of Cups as action is about letting go someone from the past, some past hurt, some past, it could be even heartbreak or attachment. Usually we're not that afraid of being of the breakup, or being let's say, left at the altar or things like that. We are mourning the dreams that they had, that we had about this, a life with this person. We are mourning, or we are sorrowful, and this is the card of sorrow, and past sorrow, of letting go, of, moving past this, uh, matter of the heart that was really bothering you. Reverse this, and we have somebody who has already have, let's say, already done that. Somebody who has already moved past this past, and really, it's here is about fear of being taken advantage of, and he has moved past that. We don't have a card here for like for being self-confident, of having a self-worth, a healthy dose of self-worth. But maybe that's not what the cards want to show. Another thing that we're having Hugh Grosvenor having moved past is the Hermit. The Hermit is a guy who, I've seen it in some people where they just, they're like, they don't even give up on love. They're just like, that's not for me. It's not meant for me. There's so much like baggage or background or whatever. It's not there for me. And they're like, okay, I will fill my life with other stuff. And that other stuff usually is either pain or pleasure, let's put it this way. Could be excessive partying, or going out, or having fun to make up for that hole in your heart, because the heart wants what it wants. And the other extreme that these people that give up on love is, and getting isolated. They could get and I've actually seen this once, where a guy and a girl, and they're the perfect people for each other, and the guy is so closed off that he's not recognizing her. So it's like, okay, whatever. The other extreme, that these people that deny that what their heart desires is work. For women, it's shopping, like buying stuff. But for men, usually it's, burying yourself in work, and being excellent at not paying attention to your heart. Reverse that card is a good thing. He's the future, because again, these are cards for the future. Whatever is happening in his life right now is opening his eyes, and he is no longer in this hermit type of self-isolation from love. And it's really the feeling that I get is that it's a protecting of the heart, protecting yourself from being hurt, having those fears, that the fears could be correct, they could be right. At the same time, there is a guy who is worthy of love, just because he is, not because who he is, what he has, what he doesn't have, and things like that. He's worthy of love. And I will take a card from the other set of cards. I'd like to see what's this competition about. Is it a competition for him, or is he going to be in a competition for her? But usually when I get that card, it's a lot of unfair competition, like dirty games, really dirty games. So let's take a look at that hidden thing that actually is going to come fast. So let's take a look. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. Here, this is another, let's say, biblical reference. Actually, in this in this tarot deck, all the cards have biblical reference. I think it's about the woman. I think it's about the woman. The woman being a experiencing a unloyal competition towards a unfairly competition towards him. I don't think she will be she will be like hunting to snatch him or something like that. But there are others. There are others that definitely have set their eyes on him and they're trying their best. So whoever he chooses, he needs to be very open-minded about what's happening and not fall for the lies and manipulations, and definitely not fall for the behind the scenes he needs to know that there are going to be a lot of behind the scenes play in his life. That's really about it. Alrighty, so that was an interesting reading. I'll upload it now and I'll continue with Prince Harry and a couple of questions about him that have popped up lately. So talk to you soon. Bye.